Chapter 19. Cough. Proverbs 31:28. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. King James Version. Her sons congratulate her, and thus her husband praises her. M-O-F. Cough. I think cough could have been my favourite Hebrew letter. Not only does its aesthetics please, flowing lines, sensuous curves, but also its sound. Cough, pronounced koof. Excuse me. I've always imagined it to be the sound of impact if one fell off a 20-story building into a giant marshmallow. Koof. It is the picture of the head, or more specifically the back of the head. Here we find that the praise of the virtuous woman receives is behind her back. The idea here is not that the husband and children are talking to her, but talking about her to third parties. The children arise, or we could read, grow up, and call her blessed. The problem with being a child is that you never know how your parents rate. One only realizes one has had a healthy or dysfunctional upbringing when one is old enough to analyze, compare, and discern. Great moms are only really appreciated when their kids realize they are great. Sometimes, something which can take in many cases 3 decades or more. Yet the promise here is that they will arise and call her blessed. With maturity will come insight. Praise may be delayed, but it is on the way. One of the keys to a successful marriage is to put your spouse on a pedestal. Certainly that is what her husband is doing. One can imagine him bragging to his friends and colleagues about how wonderful she is, and I'm sure his remarks are met with faint incredulity and jovial exclamation. What did she ever see in you? You obviously married above yourself. Doubtless this marriage has been arranged, which, contrary to popular culture, led more often Doubtless this marriage has been arranged, which, contrary to popular culture, led more often than not to successful endings. As one Indian scholar remarked, in the West you marry the one you love. In the East we love the one we marry. Love is that which is decided on, learnt about, grown in, and then felt. Beginning with simply feeling is more often than not a recipe for short-term infatuation rather than lifelong partnership. The chorus of praise and honour increases as the years go by, and the circle of her influence continues to widen as her husband and her children find their way in the world. Recognition and respect ripple out, and thus her harvest increases.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child love.